Welcome friends. Today we are going to learn about working capital management. Before starting the concept of working capital management, first we need to know what is capital. In simpler sense, capital means such amount which is required to start a business. Now, what amount of capital is invested by proprietor or proprietors, that capital can be segregated between two parts. In general, few portion is basically employed to acquire plant, property and equipment, and few portions we need to keep aside to remit our day-to-day operation. And the amount which required to meet our day-to-day operation is basically known as working capital. Then what does it means by working capital? Working capital is such amount of capital which is required to organize, which is required to run your business. That is why working capital also be considered as a liquidity capital, the amount which is required for day-to-day expenses. In another approach, we can consider that working capital, which is basically we can calculate the working capital of a business from balance sheet of any business organizations. You know, from balance sheet, in case of traditional balance sheet, of course, there are two sides, assets and liabilities. And you always find that few components of working capital exist in balance sheet. In asset sides like closing stock, then your receivables or debtors, sometimes you got your bank oblique cash. Such amounts are considered as a part of your current assets. In liability side also, you got opposite of debtors, there is a payables, so called creditors. Next you got sometime there are some outstanding expenses, sometime outstanding wages also. Now any kinds of outstanding part also appear which is due, that part also appear at the liability side of a balance sheet. Now working capital can be expressed in simpler sense. It is basically the difference between current assets and current liabilities. Let me give a brief. Capital, the amount which is required to organize a business. Working capital is a part of that capital which we keep aside to remit our day-to-day operations. Now, how we can manage to calculate the working capital? Working capital, how much working capital exists in a particular business, it can be easily traced when we go after the balance sheet of that business. In balance sheet, in assets or liability side, in either sides, you got few portion of assets which are considered as a liquid assets or which are considered as a current assets, such as closing stock, debtors, bank and cash. Similarly, in liability side also, few portions of liabilities which can be considered as a part of current liability. Such liabilities are creditors and outstandings. Now the difference between current assets and current liabilities is also considered a working capital. Now the question is, whenever you've gone through a balance sheet of an organization, it is become very much easier for you to calculate the working capital. But today in this chapter of working capital management, we are supposed to calculate not from balance sheet, we are supposed to calculate working capital depending upon the business operations. Depending upon the operations, depending upon the capacity or activity level, how to calculate working capital, that we are going to learn. Today we just consider how to calculate working capital in case of a manufacturing organizations. Now let me give you a brief of that pattern or mechanism of calculation of working capital. Now before starting that mechanism, it is also known as operating cycle concept of working capital, what we need to follow? We need to follow that first we consider, so suppose that portion of cash which is kept under day-to-day business, that portion of cash is available in a particular business. As I said, it is a manufacturing organizations, then of course we can't avoid that particular proprietor, or if you consider the functionaries of the business, initially collected materials, whatever materials required for manufacturing purpose, collected that materials. Okay, now from the cash, first they collect materials. Next steps, that materials is converted into the production. Just think about furniture manufacturer. In case of furniture manufacturer, if it is a wooden furniture, in that case raw wood you can consider as a raw materials. Then raw wood is primarily collected from the market. Now after collecting that raw wood into the market, that put into the production process. Now the question is, after processing that materials and input several kinds of direct and indirect materials and other components, other manufacturing items, it can convert into finished product, or you can say finished goods. Now after getting that finished goods, you sold your finished goods to your customer. Customers are basically known as debtors or customer. From debtors again you collect the cash. This concept is known as basically operating cycle concept. Operating cycle concept of working capital. Now the question is, today we are going to learn, based on that operating cycle concept of working capital, how we can manage to calculate working capital of any business organizations. Now let me getting into that operating cycle concepts once more. The question is, whatever amount you have invested to buy your raw materials, that amount you have to keep blocked for certain time. This is a part of manufacturing process. Okay, like it's not possible you are buying the materials and instantly put to use that materials for the purpose of manufacturing process. You always must have certain buffer amount of stock with your hand to avoid different kinds of problems, to avoid different difficulties. Okay, even you can say that for a smoother running of your business also you must have certain amount of stock in your hand always be. Now if we imagine, like whatever materials we buy for the purpose of manufacturing process, that materials on an average keep 2 weeks in our stock or store. The materials we keep 2 weeks in our stores. I mean, according to my example, if you consider it is a wooden furniture manufacturing company, then raw wood. Whatever raw wood we buy, we just imagine that it's basically stay in store for 2 weeks. After that, it will take another 2 weeks for manufacturing process. I mean, for cutting, sizing, even giving that proper shape, color to make it finish, it will take another 2 weeks. And this particular portion is also known as work in process. Now finished goods. Now when it comes out as a finished goods, say suppose on an average you have to keep that chair as a finished goods for 4 weeks. Like it will take, after finish it off as a product and buying the customer, the time gap in between that you can consider as how much 4 weeks, another 4 weeks. Then in case of business, since we consider it is B2B, if we consider, or if you sold the product in other businesses, there may be a possibilities of sell our product in terms of credit. Now in that case also you need to give a certain credit limit to our customers. Say I just took another 2 weeks, that is our regular credit limit to our customer. What we used to give our customer 2 weeks credit limit benefit. Now if you imagine that, suppose today if you buy raw materials at a price of rupees 1 lakh, to get back the similar amount in your pocket, you have to wait for 2 weeks for stores, another 2 weeks for process, another 4 weeks as a finished product, and another 2 weeks as a due or as a benefits, or you can say as a credit period or credit limit or credit time frame which you supposed to give to your customer. Then to get back that similar amount, you need, as simple as that, you need to wait for 10 weeks. Now the question is, only for the purpose of manufacturing process, only for the purpose of materials, you have to wait 10 weeks. Now if your weekly requirement of raw materials is 1 lakh rupees, then for the purpose of materials, you have to preserve how much? 10 lakhs rupees. That way each and every components like materials, process, finished goods, debtors, we can manage to calculate. In fact, the similar process we can apply in the second phase also. Now the question is, let me clarify one particular things, that is how the goods are portrayed. Like there are few terms which you need to understand. One is raw materials, next is work in progress, that is also known as WIP, and the final one is finished goods. For better understanding, you can manage to look into the the process such a manner. So if this is your raw materials, then this is your work in progress, and then you can say this is your finished goods. That all the things are portrayed. Now work in progress is a bit difficult terms to understand. Work in progress is a time frame or is a process where with the materials we need to employ 2 more components which are very much necessary for any kinds of manufacturing organizations. One is labor, another one is expenses. That means work in progress is a combinations of three in the sense it is a combinations of material, labor and expenses. Materials, labor and expenses. Now again give me a brief. We are going to discuss about operating cycle concept of working capital requirement. Here I said that if you imagine that you are going to calculate working capital of any manufacturing organizations, then what process, what steps you have to follow. The steps are very simple. Whatever cash you basically allotted for operating your business, a portion of cash you have to employ for buying the materials. That materials is gradually converted into process, and finally from process to finished goods. And after getting that finished goods, you basically sold the product to your customer, and finally the amount is again get back to in your project. Now to calculate how working capital, we need to follow certain mechanism. So then certain mechanism in the sense, first we need to make a pro forma where we are going to show the different components of balance sheet, like as I mentioned earlier, stock, debtors, bank, creditors, outstanding expenses and outstanding wages. How to make the pro forma of working capital, that right now I am going to show you people. Statement of working capital details. 2 rupees column, simultaneously rupees. Now that statement can be segregated in between 2 parts. First portion is known as current assets. Under current assets, you should employ raw materials. As I said to you people, there are different part of raw materials. Next portion should be work in progress, and the final frame is finished product or finished goods. Okay, these 3 are basically a part of your stock. Okay, 3 separate segregations of your stock. After that stock, don't forget to consider that your customer dues or debtors balance. You can consider here debtors or sundry debtors, or due or sundry debtors or due from customer. Now bank and cash balance, that is also most important part. You can write bank or you can write cash also, or you can write cash at bank also. Now the second portion of that particular statement, that is known as current liabilities. Under current liabilities, the first item or prime item is known as creditors. Creditors. Now the question is, the concept is, what is the concept of creditors in terms of operating cycle concept of working capital? Creditors in the sense like the way when we sold our product to our customer, the way we provide credit limit to our customer. Similarly, creditors are our suppliers of raw materials or suppliers of materials. The materials which we purchase to organize our business, we also achieve a certain credit limit from our creditors also. There is a possibilities of getting certain amount of credit limit from our creditors also. Okay, and always there is a due part of such amount, that is why it comes under current liabilities. At any point of time when we are making a balance sheet, whatever amount is due towards creditors from our points of view, that amount is known as what, due to our suppliers from our points of view, that amount is in accounting terminology is known as what? Creditors. That is amount payable, the amount which we need to pay. As I said that in the operating cycle of working capital, operating cycle concept of working capital, like when we buy materials, there is a possibilities of getting or achieving certain credit limit from our suppliers end also, and that amount is portrayed as a balance of creditors. Next to three parts, in case of labor and in case of expenses also, sometimes there is a possibilities of getting certain credit limit from them too, like the employer, the workers or the employees, those who are working with us, after getting their work for 1 month or 15 days, basically we need to pay them. It's not like at the initial point we pay certain amount of wages to them. The logic behind this, first they work for a certain time limit, after that we basically pay to them. In such a process, always there will be a certain dues towards our workers also. Or in case of other expenses also, there is a possibilities of getting that kind of, credit, that kind of time lags, or rather I can say that kind of credit limit. And that is why such amounts of dues are also portrayed. Like as I said that there is a dues, there is a possibilities of different kinds of dues for organizing the business from our point of view. Such dues are dues towards our worker or towards other items also. Now there is a creditors, you can write there is outstanding, that is dues, outstanding wages, or another one is there, that is outstanding overheads. Overheads means all different indirect charges, or sometimes it is known as also outstanding expenses. Okay, now the concept is, when you are going to calculate that, how to calculate the working capital. Question is, whenever you are trying to calculate working capital, this is the basic pro forma. First you have to portray that pro forma. Once you portray that pro forma, you can easily judge that which items you have to consider in general. In general, there may be exceptional cases. In general, these are the items which will appear in the statement of working capital. And what is your job? Depending upon the problem which is provided to you, depending upon the case or situation which is provided to you, based on that situations you have to calculate each and every components which are available here. Okay, like you have to portray here raw materials, you have to calculate the raw materials, you have to calculate work in progress, you have to calculate finished goods, debtors, sometimes bank and cash also. Bank and cash also sometimes available, that is also available in your question. Now once you make a total of sum of all such 5 components, you can manage to get the total amount of current assets. Similarly, in similar fashions, you have to calculate creditors, you have to calculate outstanding expenses, you have to calculate outstanding overheads or outstanding wages, you have to calculate outstanding overhead or expenses, and in similar fashion you have to get the total. Now the question is, you have to plot here a less. Once you differentiate between current assets and current liabilities, the amount which comes out, such amount is basically considered your working capital of the business. This is the basic mechanism of calculation of working capital.